Hello and welcome to a new episode of Ace Alliance podcast. Today's topic is especially interesting for those of you who either look to raise capital or maybe are investors themselves. Investing in the iGaming industry may seem risky at a glance, because after all, it is a high risk industry, but it also comes with plenty of great opportunities. And I'm really excited to be joined by Vladimir Malakchi, CEO and managing partner at Xanada Investments. Vladimir, welcome to the show.
Hello, Magda. Thank you. Nice
How
to
have
be
you
here.
been? How have you been recently? Tell me.
As always, you're in the middle of the week. You lose all the time, and the only thing that is making you happy is a good weather, good training, and a lot of new interesting projects. So good.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. The weather completely changed my own mood. So I feel you. Let's get straight into it because we have a lot of things to discuss, Vladimir. Um, you've really built your career deep inside the iGaming industry before launching Xanada. At what point did you realize you were maybe a bit more interested in building the ecosystem or funding the builders than being inside a single company? Was there like a turning point?
Um, I think it's not a kind of turning point because I was dreaming to build venture investment or any kind of investment fund in different models from probably for about like 7 years ago, even before I come to iGaming industry. I didn't know what the industry will be, but I still remember this interview at EvoPlay when they asked, this favorite HR question, what will be, how you see yourself in 5 years, what do you want to reach, and so on. And that time I told, like, guys, I have several goals. I need to build the name, I need to earn money, but I'm dreaming of creating the venture fund I wanted. So, but then I had this question when I started preparing the fund because we were discussing the strategy, how we push it, and I was thinking for I think for months why I'm building it, why did I have this dream, and why I'm pushing the fund and all of this stuff. And the one answer I found for myself, I really big fan of influence and helping people to grow, because this is the most proudful thing for me. I'm seeing like I don't have a lot of them, probably around 10 people that I helped somehow in career growing, and I'm seeing what they're building now and how like much money they're building. And I remember when they earned like, I don't know, $500 per month in the best scenario. Now they're like top managers of good company. They build their own business, and like this feeling of your probably kind of narcissism, but anyway, like I've done it. Yes, I help it. I help this person, something like this. And this is really help make me happy. And the fund is the best option to do it, not like for 2 or for 3 person at the same time. The fund and the whole ecosystem is an option to give it like to tens of people at the same time, because it's you connect all of them together and all different businesses, and also the level of these people. You don't take low skill but high motivation sales and grow him. You already took somebody with a huge knowledge and experience. You just give him some resources. So it's a bigger picture. So this is probably a natural evolution of the initial idea.
Yeah. And honestly, I must disagree with you on one thing. I wouldn't call it narcissism because watching people grow and develop is more like a proud parent moment.
Probably. Yeah, okay. I like your variant more, so won't even argue.
Amazing. And you launched Xanada essentially from scratch in a sector that really didn't have, kind of still doesn't have a deep VC culture. What did people around you say when you told them your plan?
I think it's important to diversify people in the group by the segments of groups. So the people who close to me and know what we're building, I think this was the biggest support for whatever, because they told it doesn't matter what you're building, you will be build it successful, and it will work anyway. So I didn't receive any kind of template like, no, what are you doing, and so on. Never. There were some group of people that were telling like it's a high risk and so on, and also very importantly, probably to say that they make sense, and it's important to listen to such pragmatic or agnostic people as well, because they really were correct in some things. And after some period of time, we've changed some strategies of investment exactly in this industry, because you are correctly 100% right that there is no VC culture in our industry, and we tried to build it. We were dreaming to build it, but I really can tell it for now we didn't succeed at that point that we've expected. And you can invest in this industry, you can grow the project, but it's not usual venture. It's another strategy. And from my point of view, or you have a lot of money and you can buy a lot of companies, or you already have the whole ecosystem which you can integrate project. This is only two options how you can invest in this industry. Other variant, there is no sense. You will waste money. So I think close people should support you, that even if they don't trust in your idea, because for me it was important. I doubt myself for first like 6 or 7 months probably that I'm doing something incorrect. No projects, home to speak, like what to do, what is the founder self, and so on. So yep.
I love that. I love that story. And at this point, you have probably seen, I want to say, thousands of startup pitch decks. Um, about that, do you have your golden rule for creating a pitch deck, and what are some elements that really must appear? What can be skipped?
I I don't think it's my golden rule, or it's golden rule that were created tens of years before I was even born. Um, Keep things simple. I've seen a lot of good startups and a lot of good teams with probably the most awful pitch decks, because they tried to make things so complicated that you're reading like even 12 page of pitch deck, and you're not understanding what exactly the project is. Is it platform? Is operator? Or it's probably SEO websites for operators, because they show in a lot of numbers and a lot of things, but they forget about the core. So there is a very nice golden rule of marketing, like show something to the 7-year child, and that's all. Your 7-year child is understanding what you're doing, except like at least on some overall high view. Super, you can show it. If child doesn't understand, forget it. Don't show it to anybody. I think this is this rule works in any industry, in any things that are connected with people, with a showing. So if you keep things simple and you're thinking not of yourself, what you want to reach, you're thinking about what the person that will read the speech deck want to receive, and what they expected from it, you have bigger chances to at least to receive attention.
Yeah, and would you say you should always tailor the pitch deck to the type of investors that you'll be talking to?
Mm, from the experience of making, because as a fund, we're not only seeing pitch decks, but also helping our projects to make the pitch decks, and it's not 100% tailored, but some details always are, because usually when you prepare it for pitch deck, you know what is important for the person, for the company that will check this pitch deck. I never try to send pitch decks of the project to hundreds of people. I don't think this is the right strategy. Probably for somebody it works, but I don't trust it, the best strategy. For me, the best strategy, when you checked hundreds of possible investors, then found like 10 maximum that will probably suit you because of hundreds of different reasons, and then prepare pitch decks for them, and then find their contacts, connect with them through like network, and so on, so on, so on. So it's a bit another strategy of financial investment, and this really works. In this case, yes, you must tailored a bit for each investor, for each company, with the small details. Somebody focusing on profit, somebody on capitalization, somebody on more market coverage. It's you need to understand your client.
Mhm. Absolutely. And actually, in the Ace Alliance magazine, you recently wrote a really great article on why investors swipe left on startups. Uh, what advice would you give to those startups that really want to stand out with their solution and really attract the right the right investors?
I think the same as for dating. If we continue on
Mm.
this topic, like if you want to be among those who will be swipe right, you need to be. I don't want to tell unique, but you need to have some sauce. You need to provide something very interesting, very catchable. The same here. You need to show. I still remember. I don't remember what was the event. Probably it was Sigma pitch event, when the guy came to the stage. And honestly, I don't think they have the most profitable project among all the candidates. I don't think they have like the best business like model or something like this. They have a good stable project, everything is okay, but it's very difficult to compete with operators business, for example, because of numbers, because of exposure, max exposure of the business and so on. But I still remember this founder because he was catchable. He prepared some small things with the audience from the beginning, with his attention, with some small fireworks. So very very small details, which I think still, like for me, it's still in my head. I don't remember his name. I don't remember the name of the company, but I remember this speech. And if I need to find it, I will find it, because we were speaking for some period of time. And I'm sure that all the other investors that were sitting on this project, they still remember. So you need to be a bit catchable with a. I won't tell about, like, yes, of course you need to be good numbers, you need to understand models, you need to have unit economy, blah 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 blah. It's a basis. But among this, you always imagine that everybody is well prepared. Everybody is, and people are like investors are trying to choose the best project for them. And among these, you need to be more attractive. You need to show something very interesting for exactly your investor.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, there are actually two schools of creating the pitch decks. Like one is, I would say, more American, where you do a lot of storytelling. You create those stories that people can follow very easily. That's how you make it more memorable. Whereas us in Europe, we often go with the academic way of creating pitch decks, presentations, everything. We love to put a lot of numbers, a lot of facts, this sort of stuff, but it doesn't become a coherent story. So I'm guessing the one that you remember kind of conveyed a story.
I think it's very important stuff that in usual venture, the storytelling is working. Or how did you create it? Why did you create it? How you come to this idea? What's your team? You were like, I don't know, you're working together for 15 years. You were dreaming it from your childhood, and so on, so on, so on. Because it's a kind of your capitalization, how you built this. I never worked with European startups in usual venture, so I never meet them in big amount, probably around 100 startups, but it's not enough to make some statistic. So, but the problem that in our industry, storytelling is nothing, because all the investors, and there are not so many, if you just count them, there are maximum around 100 investors in the industry, which are really can make some money. And like, I don't know, only 30 of them will really invest or just discuss with you something important. So among all of these 30 investors, I mean, the biggest one, nobody will invest in your story. Nobody cares about your story. Everybody cares about numbers. And this is the most agnostic and like pragmatic industry. Like, okay, you have a very good story. We love you. You're a top guy and so on. Now let's talk about money. And there's always like this. So story is important. Story is important for showing and for catching. I still think it's needed, because it's something new, and you anyway you invest in the person, and if the person is coming and you trust that this person is really want to do this business, not because okay, I want to do this business because I don't know, I earn like 5K now. I trust that I will be a millionaire because I'm so skillful guy and or like a lady, it doesn't matter. Um, no, because I really want it. I dream about this. This part of story still important even in Europe.
I really find this approach super interesting, and it's actually a great bridge to my next question. Because yes, storytelling is cool and everything, but like you said, we need the stuff that is tangible for the investors. So when investors or VCs they want to invest in the iGaming industry, what should they look at? Are there any metrics that you would say are the most important?
Um, it depends on the business, what we're discussing, and I don't trust that revenue is the only one metric. For operators business, it's probably the biggest amount of numbers because nothing important by solo number. It doesn't matter you're taking deposits, I don't know, GGR, NGR, whatever you can take, because all these numbers are nothing without understanding of detailed unit economy. So for operators, it's the most complicated part because I never even speak with people who are not understanding how to build unit economy. And I never speak after some experience. I think this is more correct I'd say, because we spent a lot of time before, and after this we realized that there is no sense in this. So for example, for game providers and some traffic things, I think another metrics. If we decided to find only one metric, which is the most important for now, it will be the vector of development. I mean, if they start, what the dynamic they will keep growing and how they're going to reach this. Because everybody shows, all of these rockets, rocket grows, and everybody destroyed when you ask, okay, how you want to reach this plus 20, 200, 300%, what should be inside your sales to reach these numbers, how you're going to treat them. When it's stable growth, like, 30%, 40%, I don't know. For providers, it's usually like 100, 120% for the first year. See, if it is a good provider, then like a bit stable. But it's more understandable, and you can ask more detailed questions. So if we're discussing the first metric, which is looking, I think this is the dynamic of growing. It shouldn't be like a rocket. It shouldn't be very stable. It should be fully understandable. And honestly, there are a lot of benchmarks in the industry, and all the businesses are very, very similar to each other. There are not so many unicorns in iGaming for now. So most part of the businesses are the same.
Mhm. I would say why do the skyrocketing, development when the market will challenge you anyway? Um, so, even if the investor says no because of that reason, they have a point. They know the industry very well. And if you had to bet on the next iGaming vertical that will really see a wave of early stage investment in the next couple of years, something that really doesn't have multiple funds chasing it, what would it be?
I don't think something will be changed dramatically, honestly. Um, I think markets will be added, and I still see that markets are growing. New markets are adding because current markets are a bit swamped, if we can tell like this. And new operators are open and open and open and open. And based on new operators, probably will jump with a new content. I trust that I won't tell it like AI will create new era of I don't know, iGaming, and everything will be changed, but the content will be changed for sure, because I'm seeing a lot of new things. I have several friends of mine which let's call them visionaries, and I think they are very good visionaries from their some future and how to build it, because they really trust in this, and they already have enough money to build this. It's not a kind of dreamers, so they already have a proven results of it. And I'm seeing the content itself will be changed a lot. We're seeing this with products like Polymarket, which is changing in overall changing betting in some way out of this business. We will see the change in game providers in their content, and they need to be adapted to this. We're seeing a lot of merging between retention and games. It is a part of the content as well. So it's not only about like how to send you email. Now it's mostly how to attract the user and to keep it working in your website, and to keep the player attracted to this. It's a part of content as well. So, and also I think the same content will be very changing in all of the SEO websites and reviewers and so on, because too many reviewers, everybody already knows how to put your website in top if you can compete in this market, in this keys and so on, because in some ways there is no experience, no option for this, because you don't have enough budget just justified. But in overall, people know how to do it correctly, even with the new updates. I think everybody already for 10 years, or somebody for 20 years, so they already hack the system, how to work with this. But the products that are changing content strategy, which was working with the audience, they will have a lot more results with attracting users and sending them to the right operators.
This is really great. And obviously, investors love to back scalable businesses, but is true scalability even possible in iGaming, where we have the unpredictable market conditions, the change of regulations, high acquisition costs, and so on?
Mm, I had a friend of mine, and we were arguing for this for 2 years, because I'm the person who always um, telling that everything can be predictable and planning, and even the risks, like you're telling, the drop in other markets, high acquisition, new regulators, new markets, and new, I don't know, payments destroying, and so on, so on, so on. But anyway, it's a risks, you can cover them and you can diversify the business. He was arguing for 2 years that now our industry is chaotic, we need to move in chaos, and you just need to be ready for this. In some way, it's true, and you're true, it's chaotic as well. But the balance, when there is right order in chaos, and it can be, and of course you can lose, probably you can earn on 20% it more less than you expected, because I don't know, payment system dropped in your main market. But you don't need to have more than 20% it in one market just to not to lose more than 20% it, and all of this risk can be nivellated. And from my experience, most part of the companies, when they're making the yearly planning, they know that there will be such risk and what the problems will be. You need to diversify correctly. Of course, if you're a small business, it's hard for you to diversify. For small businesses, it's harder and more complicated. For middle and big businesses, it won't be so. Or like if a small business is a part of such groups or holdings, it won't be so harmful, because you can fastly adjust, and even if you lose like 500,000, you will adjust to earn them from another market. So yeah, I think it should be predictable, and plus for next 5 years at least, the market's still growing. So even if something is dropping, some way it's growing. So you need to cover different options, not to put all eggs in one basket, and then you will cover all your risks, most part of them.
Absolutely. And I would actually love to come back to the investor focus for just a tiny moment. In one of your past conversations, you have mentioned that founders should really do their homework on investors before approaching them to understand the fund's focus, the stage preference, portfolio logic. But in practice, most founders, like you said, they just send hundreds of same cookie cutter pitches and use this spray and pray approach. What is the real cost of that? What does a properly researched investor outreach actually look like?
Mm, I think the problem with the sending of 100 pitch decks to 100 investors is not even that you won't receive investment. It's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem if you receive investment from wrong investor, because each investor will have a lot of things like non-compete, non-solicitations, and other stuff with you. It's not a kind of, hey, here is 1 million, open something, okay, it's done, forget about this. No, there are a lot of things and a lot of responsibility as well on the founders. Yes, like it's not responsibility and risk on money, but also there are a lot of things which responsibility and closing things and closing opportunities for their founders as well. And the problem of working with a wrong investor, you will destroy your idea, you will destroy your business, you will waste a lot of time, and you will have a lot of issues. That's why, yep, I still trust that this is important part when you to search enough to understand whom you're gonna work with, what they really give. Because if you, I don't know, make interviews or podcasts with all the investors, you will hear the same from each one. We have ecosystem, we have products, we have operators, traffic, whatever you need. We will help you with hiring. We will help you. Like, just come to us. We will do everything for you. Honestly, in some cases, I even think, what should I do as a founder if I come to you, because you already told that you will do anything for me. Like, why do you need me if you already know what to do? But in reality, it won't be like this, because most part of investors still as the same as a lot of other people, they're not so deeply in the business. They have a lot of money from other businesses and from other sources. They want to jump inside this business, but they don't have enough experience in this. And it's okay. For somebody, it's okay, because conditions will be better with them. It's, I think, truly fact that conditions with the people who are not from the industry deeply will be better, because they can provide only money for you at the end of the day. So it depends on what are you looking for. If you're looking really to grow the business and you need some support in some system and somebody who will help you to avoid mistakes, it's better to make research. If you want just, let's go, probably luck will be on your side, and we're still in like in the industry where luck is important. So if probably you will be lucky enough.
Brilliant, brilliant. This is very great approach, Vladimir. And there's one more topic that I really want to discuss with you, or maybe with everybody, which is AI. Uh, AI and the startups' approach to it. So obviously, AI is absolutely everywhere in the pitches right now. AI tools, personalization, retention, you name it, whatever. Even the pitch decks are written by ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. How would you separate AI that is really a genuine competitive advantage from AI that's just a decoration?
I'm really grateful for crypto industry that they teach me how to work with this, because the same was with blockchain startups, and they were coming and telling, we have blockchain everywhere. The main question, okay, can you make it without it? Can you make your product without blockchain? And most part of people tell, yes, of course. Okay, if you can make it without blockchain, just drop it down. We don't need blockchain. And that's all easy. The same with AI. Like, most part of the things can be built without it. I don't see any big problem that pitch deck is written with the help of AI. I'm using AI a lot in a lot of things, and it's really useful, and it's helping, it's saving time, and I still trust that. I think even if people not using it, it's for now it's more questions than the people who are using it. The problem, how do you use it and how you evolved in this. So if you just, hey, they done do me everything and you're not checking, you will receive the same result. If you're just making it because you don't have design skills or some, I don't know, coding skills, and you're preparing some website as a pitch deck and you're like preparing something interesting, nice. Why not? It's not an issue. And if you're putting AI inside your technology, which is giving some, I don't know, simple stuff like calculations and analyzing all the information. Nice, great. It's helping. It's probably saving our possible money. We don't need some, I don't know, additional financial person who will make a monkey job. It's super okay. But if you're like pretending that this AI will solve hard questions and you're not understanding what is the difference between Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini, for example, sorry, probably AI is not your future. Something like this.
I love that. And obviously, many startups really rely heavily on AI and machine learning. Before that, on blockchain, like you said. Oh my God, blockchain was such a buzzword back in the 2016, 17. Yeah,
17, 18, yeah.
yeah, it's been crazy. But if a major company like Anthropic or OpenAI release a new feature, an entire category of startups can disappear. We kind of saw it when I don't know if you remember when Instagram put stories out, and everybody was saying, "Oh, this is going to kill Snapchat. Look at that, Snapchat is still around." But do you think we're heading towards a reality where most AI startups are just experiments until the big tech absorbs their features?
Mm, I don't think in our industry big techs will absorb anything because let's be honest, our industry is 20 years behind all other world. It's still we can just touch each specter of it, and we're 20 years behind. Probably in like 20, 30 years, yes, they will use this technology. For now, all the technologies are on the small company sides. Um, no one from huge companies are using any kind of technologies because they don't need, all the very, very old rule. If it's working, don't touch it. And this rule is, firstly, when I come to the industry, I didn't understand this. And I was like, young and not enough wisdom. Like, let's move, let's go. You need innovations. We need to push. Then I understand this rule, why it's working, because it's bringing money. And so small companies, they have an option to use technologies, and probably some of them become big companies at the end of the day, and it's okay. And they will have a chance to be sold to these big companies with their technologies. I trust more in this variant in this case. So I don't want to tell anybody not to try. I want to tell, try, guys. It's really cool. Try and innovate something, but just think about, is it really important to put the AI or blockchain, or I don't know, whatever it is. Just think about your end customer who will use this product, and how it will work, and really it's useful. Just don't put things because you want to put some good words. It's much better not to put AI and to tell that you are doing it manually than to put AI and at the end of the day not doing it at all.
Mhm. I love that, and you're right. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the customer. Think of what you are solving for them. Don't put out the flashy features just because they're cute. You know. Um, and Vladimir, as we're wrapping up, if someone listening or watching you today would like to start building a startup in the iGaming space, what's the most practical first step that they could take to move in the right direction?
Learn, just learn.
Thank you.
Just see your competitors, guys. First, what I'm seeing that people forget towards the competitors, and among the industry, and they think there is no competitors, or they're not understanding it. Just check your competitors and tell what is your advantage in all of this. Most part of businesses not needed to have a huge advantage. Some small stuff, better retention, better, I don't know. We've checked the operator's business. We put 1,000 deposits. We receive some, I don't know, pre-VIP messages, and we think it's stupid because, and that's why what we want to make better. Super nice, guys. You make research. Nice. Thank you so much. You spent some time. You don't prepare AI pitch deck and come to everybody. You make research. I've already will be happy to see the guys because they spent some time on this. So I respect this, and I think other investors respect this as well, because when you see that the person inside of it. So that's what I mean under learn what are you trying to do, even if you're not a high level many years experience guy or a lady, but learn, make a research, and then it will be easy. Probably after research you will understand that there is no sense to make the business. It will save you a lot of time.
Amazing. I 100% agree with this. Doing the proper research is you should always start with that. The end of story, you know. And then do the nice pitch deck. Um,
Yeah.
Vladimir, how can people reach out to you and Xanada Investments?
I'm easily. I think I'm the only one Vladimir Malakchi in LinkedIn still. So it's not so difficult, and I have let's call it's my issue for people. It's good. I can't not reply fastly. I need to cover all these notifications. If there are any notifications somewhere in the application, I feel not comfortable, so I'm usually replying very fast.
So you're
So
not
it's
one
not
of those people that have 100 unread messages on your phone. Okay.
it's even sounds like a nightmare. I can't. No. Everything
It is,
should be
yeah.
clean.
There's just one problem with it, you know? You click off the notification and then you forget to come back to a person.
No, I'm reading. I'm usually reading because exactly I know that I won't come back. I never come back. If I forget to
Mhm.
answer, that's if you see that I'm reading the message and not reply at least at the same day, it means that I missed it. I won't reply it because I've already forget about this.
Amazing. Vladimir, thank you so much for all your insights and for sharing them with our listeners. I really appreciate them. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found Vladimir's insights as valuable as I did. And don't forget to follow us on podcast platforms and social media to get updates on more episodes like this one. So see you next time.
Thank you so much.